Hey there, everybody, and welcome to Out of the Pulpit. My name is Jonathan, and I'm so glad that you are here. So yeah, this is a tough video for me to make, and put this out in the world, but I guess officially, it's something I feel like is important to talk about, and that is that I am I am no longer going to be a pastor. I just want to kind of clarify that statement. There might be room for me to one day be an associate pastor with specific emphasis in a certain aspect of ministry, but as far as a senior pastor in a congregational ministry setting, no. So the spirit of what started this channel was really about letting folks into the life of pastors. There's kind of a gap between how pastors are viewed in their normal everyday life, and people forget that pastors have real lives, that they're real people. They have opinions. They have things that they enjoy in life outside of church. And so I kind of started this channel to show people that, to show the human side of pastors, and I enjoyed that part of this channel. But then something happened. My call between the church that I was serving at the time and myself, we separated, we parted ways, we moved on from each other. And so that sent me into a lot of discernment and a lot of prayer about what that meant for me. At the time, I thought everything was going to be fine for myself in terms of I just keep on going. I'm going to find another church, going to be a pastor somewhere else, and that's just how things were going to go. But the discernment process took a turn. And it's kind of strange that I'm putting this video out, because this week, actually, 9 years ago, I was called to ministry. And also, a year ago this week, I put out my most popular video. It was a response to somebody who thought that I shouldn't be a pastor because I was too political. And it was about how my stances and the way that I love people, and include and advocate for the queer community and stand up for racial justice and ethics of the world. Somebody had told me at the time that I shouldn't be a pastor because the things I was saying was too political. And so I put out a response statement saying, I'm going to keep going. Well, you know what really sucks about that video, looking back at now, is that person was right in all of the wrong ways, which leads me to where I'm at today. The truth is that my heart, my whole heart, in the spirit of my entire ministry, has got to be about loving the neighbor, serving the least of these, justice and advocacy in the church. That requires honesty, truth, and I guess the freedom is the right word, to say what needs to be said to move folks forward. That person who said I shouldn't be a pastor because I was being too political. And that person's right in the sense that people don't want pastors to be political. They want pastors to go to throw the ball right down the middle of the plate. You know, pastors are called to be advocates in this world. They're called to speak to social justice issues, and they're called to be prophetic. But what happens because of the role of pastor and what it means today is that they can't be too prophetic, because if they're too prophetic, that means that they're upsetting people. And if they're upsetting people, that means that they don't have that person's trust when they're dying or when they're in the hospital and they need pastoral care. And this person who just ruffled your feathers and made you feel uncomfortable is what shows up, and you don't trust them. It's a model that, in my opinion, and this is not... It's hard for me to talk about because I have dear friends who are pastors, and it feels like I'm kind of coming at them and coming at their role. But the fact that you can't be too prophetic, the fact that you can't be too honest, and say what needs to be said in order to provide pastoral care at the same time, means that the model is not set up for success. So that's kind of like a really long way to describe what's going through my mind. The reality of what I'm going through right now and where my heart is and where my prayer has led me is that I can't do the things that I need to do as a minister in my path towards ordination, and I do want to be ordained, but I can't do the things that God has called me to do while serving a congregation in terms of congregational care. There are too many roadblocks between what congregations expect from their pastors and what somebody whose whole heart about justice and advocacy can do. So ironically, as we said, 2 years ago, this channel started as Real Life Pastor, and then it changed to Out of the Pulpit. Because at the time, I just felt not like a real pastor, and that I was, at least in a brief moment of my ministry, going to be out of a pulpit. So Out of the Pulpit sounded trendy and kind of cool, in my opinion. When in reality, I'm very much so out of the pulpit. I'll just say that much. And I'm not sure if I've said everything that I need or want to say, or even if I've said it well. I know pastors who are doing great things, and I also know through the conversations with them that they know where they are. They know the boundaries and the barriers, and it kills them, and it kills me that it kills them, and I can't kill myself doing that kind of work. It's just not where my heart is. I can't do it, friends and family. I can't. Yeah, this is probably a really long video, and I hope it's not. I feel like it's important to put it out there. If you're a pastor and you're going through these really hard times, I thank you for being able to stay in the pulpit. I wonder what else you could do in your position, or if it's maybe on your heart that you know you can't, and want to know that you're not alone, because you're not alone. If you're a congregation member, think about your pastors. Think about what they're going through and what they're not able to actually preach about. What bars are put in their ways, because there's just this need for preserving worship-centric churches in such a way that you can't ruffle any feathers too much, because if you say this group's going to be mad and they're going to leave. So if you say that, this group's going to be mad and they leave. So what do? You don't say anything at all. The church survives, but is it even the church anymore? So yeah, I am speaking through a lot of pain, but through the pain comes, I think, a better, more holistic version of myself that is able to do the work that God has called me to do. And so for that, I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I love each and every one of you. If you've been part of this channel since it was Real Life Pastor, or if you've been a part of this channel since it was Out of the Pulpit, or if this is the first video you're seeing of this channel, I love you. I thank you, my friends and family, my wife, who is living through all this chaos in my world in real time, and just trying to be supportive, and to my mentors and my friends in the pastoral ministry and in the church side of things. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. Thank you for those that advocate for me. Out of the Pulpit's not going anywhere. If anything, Out of the Pulpit is more fitting than it ever has been. Thank you all for listening and hearing me out. See what you can do for your pastors. See how they are. Talk to them. They're real people. And so thanks again, everyone, for putting up with this video, putting up with any of my stuff, and I really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next time on Out of the Pulpit.